Good pasta YouTube, how's it going everybody? Got for you guys today a really fun, awesome battle that I had against my boy Anthony, aka TheFlawlessWin. I know it is a bit of a lengthy battle, but trust me, this battle was really fun and pretty good if you ask me. And I just want to go ahead and thank everybody who left a like on my previous upload. I haven't been able to properly thank you guys because my life has been really hectic as of lately, and all the battles that were uploaded were already previously pre-recorded to that Wi-Fi battle. So yeah, just thank you everybody for completely surpassing 300 likes. I think I got like 580, which is almost double of what I asked. So just thank you everybody. So for this battle, I want us to set a like goal of 400 likes. I know I said I got almost double of what I asked last time, but I kind of just want to slowly work up the ladder, and then we can start hitting those high numbers sooner or later. So yeah, if you do leave a like and we can get this up to 400 plus likes, I will make sure to upload another video tomorrow for you guys to enjoy. Now, looking at team preview, this is actually a UU battle if you guys couldn't tell, but going into this battle, the biggest threat I saw on Anthony's team was going to be that Florges, just because the only thing on my team that has a super effective move against it is my Amoonguss, which has clear smog as opposed to sludge bomb, so that's going to be very annoying and hard to take down. So he's going to be leading off with the Steelix, as I'm going to be leading off with my Manshell. I do carry the Fake Out, but I knew that Fake Out wouldn't do enough damage to the point where I could bring him down below sturdy range, so I decided to go straight for 2 high jump kicks. Unfortunately, he does end up getting his stealth rocks, which means now my Yamega will be losing 50% of his HP upon switching, as he ends up bringing in his Manshell. I don't want to stay in and risk him possibly being scarfed, so what I'm going to do is switch into my Yamega, predicting him to go for that high jump kick. This way I can take the hit and then possibly get off a tinted lens modest choice specs bug buzz on whatever he switches in. But no, it turns out to be a Zoroark as he goes for the nasty plot, predicting my switch out. I stay in thinking he'll predict me to protect because most Yamegas are speed boost, but no, he goes straight for the aggressive play, which is the Dark Pulse, allowing me now to bring in my Cobalion, which is indeed faster than this Zoroark, and I'm just gonna go straight for the close combat because I cannot mess around with the Zoroark. I did not think Zoroark would be a problem whatsoever, but after he gets up a nasty plot, he destroys my wall core of Gastrodon and Amoonguss, so I really have to watch out for that Zoroark, because anytime he gets a free nasty plot, something on my team is gonna get knocked out. So he brought in the Zapdos, I go for the close combat, and then I go for the Volt Switch, and he actually told me he was not expecting me to carry the Volt Switch, and this is actually a bit of a weird Cobalion set. It's specially orientated, but it's kind of like a support set. I really do like it. Definitely one of my favorite Cobalion sets to try out. As I Volt Switch out on his Manshell, I'm gonna bring in my Amoonguss, just because I'm very positive I can take any 2 hits that he wants to go for if he does turn out to be Life Orb, as he does indeed turn out to be Life Orb. He's going to go for the Fake Out, and then he's going to go for the U-turn, which does way too much damage, although then again this Amoonguss is specially defensive as opposed to physically defensive, so I shouldn't be entirely too surprised of how much damage he is doing to me. And he's just going to bring back in the Zapdos as I go for the Spore. Unfortunately, I did have Toxic on this Amoonguss, but I switched it up to Foul Play, and if I had Toxic, this Amoonguss would have been a whole lot more useful, because I definitely would have Toxic this turn predicting the Zapdos as opposed to going for the Spore, but there is a possibility that his Florges has aromatherapy, but in the end, it's not really too big of a deal. As I switch into my Cobalion, I'm just really hoping that he'll sleep for 2 turns. This way I can get on my Stealth Rocks, and because my Cobalion is faster than Zapdos, I can go ahead and Volt Switch on out into my Gastrodon, which Zapdos shouldn't be able to do anything to unless he carries a Toxic, which if he does carry Toxic, that's going to be very bad for my Gastrodon because it is the physical wall on my team, and I needed to take on the Feraligatr and possibly take a high jump kick from the Manshell. So he does stay asleep. I'm able to Volt Switch, and he goes for the Heat Wave. Unfortunately for him, he misses, but then again, I do resist it, so I highly doubt it would have done a lot of damage. I mean, I'm pretty sure it might have only done like leftovers damage, but I'm basically in a free position where I can go for a Scald or I can go for a Toxic, and I decided to go for the Toxic just to be able to catch him whatever he wants to switch in, because I was actually really positive he would bring in the Florges so he could try to pass off a Wish and get a free switch to another Pokemon on his team, but he actually switches into the Feraligatr, which turns out to not have the Lumberry and actually has leftovers. Above that, he actually has the Dragon Dance and not the Swords Dance, which means this Feraligatr is literally not a problem whatsoever, which means I'm basically free to stay in and just 2-hit KO him with the Earth Power thanks thanks to the Toxic. So I'm just going to stay in. I actually decided to go for the Recover. Looking back at it, I should have gone for the Earth Power, but I was actually kind of fearing the fact that if he did go for the Ice Punch or the Earthquake, he would bring me below half HP, and then he could just revenge kill me with the Man-Chow. So I guess Recover was the safer play, but honestly, Earth Power would have been the better play. In the long run of the battle, it really doesn't matter though, although he does get to keep this for Alligator a little bit longer than he should have, as he brings in the Man-Chow. I do go for the Earth Power. Unfortunately though, he lives on like 5%, and knowing that he's going to be forced to switch out as opposed to go for the U-turn, because he does have Life Orb, which means if he did go for an offensive move, he would die off to the Life Orb recoil. So I'm actually going to go for the Toxic, predicting him to switch into the Zapdos or the Florges, as he does bring in the Florges. Now I can distinguish this thing from the Zoroark, and you're going to see that this actually comes into play in a couple of turns. As I switch into my Amoonguss, I'm very positive that he's just going to want to go for a Moonblast or a Wish, which means I can get a free switch into my Amoonguss, go for the Clear Smog to gauge how much damage it will do. I know it's significantly weaker than Sludge Bomb. I still just want to see how much damage it will do, because I mean, it's still a poison move and it's stab and it's super effective against Fairy type, so it's going to be doing a respectable amount of damage. Unfortunately though, I believe he did get the -1 in my special attack, which means the Clear Smog will be doing practically nothing as he actually switches into the Feraligatr. If I had Sludge Bomb, this thing would have died, but no, I like to have Clear Smog on things that, because it's nice to have Clear Smog for things that want to set up. I don't know what I was trying to say earlier, but yeah, that's why I prefer Clear Smog over Sludge Bomb, although there are situations where I wish I had Sludge Bomb and Clear Smog, because if I had Sludge Bomb that turn, this thing would have been gone, and I could still have Clear Smog to get rid of any stat boosts later in the battle from the Zoroark possibly. But in the long run of the battle, it's fine, because I'm going to bring in my Gastrodon, and he thought I would actually bring in my Cobalion, predicting his Crunch, which I guess could have been a very risky play for me to do, but honestly Gastrodon was the safest thing for me to switch into, because I'm basically in a position where I don't exactly have to make risky plays like switching in my Cobalion, predicting a Crunch, and just, yeah, I'm in a really good position is what I'm trying to say. So he brings in his Zoroark. I don't want to take a possible Hidden Power Grass, so what I'm going to do is actually switch into my Cobalion as he ends up going for the Nasty Plot. I guess maybe thinking I would stay in and go for the Earth Power or Scald, but no, switching into Cobalion was a very safe play for me to do, because he could have just gone for the Dark Pulse. Luckily for me though, he didn't Flamethrower, and I'm in a position where I can just go for the Close Combat, or I can honestly just go for the Volt Switch. And I go for the Close Combat again. Looking back at it, I probably should have gone for the Volt Switch, because I believe at this point I'm only down to 4 Close Combats, and if he keeps switching in his Zapdos on my Cobalion, I'm going to run out of Close Combats, which means that Zoroark is going to be an even bigger problem than it already is. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, except not really, because I actually ended up misclicking on the Hidden Power Ice, which is going to be more beneficial to me than actually going for the Volt Switch. It's like my hands knew the right play and were just completely ignoring my brain, because thanks to the Hidden Power Ice, I put him in a position where he has to switch out. As he brings in the Florges, I can now get up my Stealth Rocks, as where if I did go for the Volt Switch, he would be at enough HP to be able to switch back into another Stealth Rock and still survive and be around for the remainder of the battle. So yeah, that misclick was actually really beneficial to me, because I'm able to get rid of the Zapdos, and not only that, but I also keep up my Stealth Rocks. So I've also switched out into my Amoonguss to be able to deal with this Florges. And I'm going to stay in, and I'm just going to go for the Clear Smog, because I really have no reason not to, because I can just start wearing this thing down. As it goes for the Aromatherapy, something in my mind was telling me he's going to Aromatherapy, go for the Spore, but I go for the Clear Smog, and if I had gone for the Spore that turn, putting this Florges to sleep would have been just so beneficial to me. But now I'm going to predict him to fodder off his Zapdos, predicting me to go for the Spore. That way he can get a free switch into his Zoroark or his Man-Chow. So I switch out into my Cobalion, but no, Anthony stays in and goes for the Wish, and I really want to just punch him in the face, because why would you leave in a Florges on an Amoonguss that has Spore? No, you could have foddered off Zapdos, and now I'm forced to go for the Volt Switch, and I'm going to bring back in my Amoonguss, thinking, okay, he's very adamant about leaving in his Florges, so he's going to go for the Moonblast. And he unfortunately does get the special attack drop, which is not going to matter at all. So now I'm thinking, okay, he's going to stay in. I'm going to go for the Spore and put him to sleep. But no, he makes the play that he should have done earlier now. And I just look like a complete buffoon, because I'm going to put the sleeper Pokemon that's not even there, and Zapdos does end up getting knocked out with the Stealth Rocks. This is actually kind of bad because now he gets a free switch into his Zoroark or his Manchow, as he does bring in the Manchow. I have nothing on my team that wants to switch into this, so I'm just going to leave it in as he goes for the Fake Out. I know I should be able to live a high jump kick, so I'm really not worried about anything. And I actually thought he would go for the U-turn into his Florges, but no, he stays in. And did you see how much damage that high jump kick did? That is a 2-hit KO on an Amoonguss. Yes, I know I am specially defensive, but still, Amoonguss is one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the lower tiers, and that's just crazy how powerful Manchow really is. So I'm going to switch into my Manchow thinking he would switch back into Florges, but he actually stays in, predicting me to switch out. And now I'm going to be forced to go for the Fake Out on the off chance that he wants to stay in, risking him to wake up and winning the speed tie, but he's going to make the safe switch into the Florges, which combination of Fake Out and U-turn is going to do a nice solid 40% of damage. I'm going to U-turn out into my Gastrodon, which I know might seem a little bit odd, but I do carry Toxic on this Gastrodon, which means if it really comes down to it, I will sit here and stall out this Florges. The reason why this is so sped up is because this is kind of the slowest and stalliest part of this battle. It's just me staying in, Toxicing, and I believe just switching up moves. But now I believe I go for the Toxic again. I'm not really too sure. I believe I predicted him to go for the Aromatherapy, so I wanted to Toxic him again to force him to go for the Aromatherapy, but he makes a very ballsy switch into the Manchow, and if I did go for the Scald or the Earth Power, I would have easily been able to knock him out as he stays in, completely underestimating the pure bulk of OG Slug. I am max defense, max HP, Manchow, get up, out, as I'm able to knock him out with the Earth Power. Another giant threat is out of the way, and at this point his last two Pokemon are the Zoroark and the Florges, as he brings in the Zoroark. The reason why I know this is Zoroark is because I actually Toxic the real Florges, which means I can just make a stage switch back into my Cobalion. And he told me that he was actually very close to going for the Flamethrower, but he actually ended up going for the safer play, which is the Dark Pulse, and he actually gives me my Justify boost. Now, on any other occasion, I would stay in and gladly go for the close combat, but no, he has a Florges, which I know even at +1, close combat will not be doing too much damage, just because I'm not fully invested into my physical attack set. I have more special attack EVs than physical attack EVs, so I'm just going to go for the safe play, which is the Volt Switch, and I'm going to Volt Switch into my Manchow, because what I want to try to do is go for the Fake Out and try to bring him down to a point where I might be able to knock him out with the high jump kick after the Toxic damage. So he goes for the Protect as I crash and hit myself. He's going to try to get a double Protect. Thankfully for me though, he doesn't get it, and I mean, even if he did, I could have just brought in my Absol to revenge kill him. As he knocks me out with the Flamethrower, I can now bring in my Absol, because Absol has not gotten any love in this battle. I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. The reason why these last 3 turns are just sped up is because Anthony wanted to show off nasty plot, shiny Zoroark, and he gets up to +6, I knock him out, and that's going to be the victory in my favor. So yeah, as I said, a very lengthy battle, guys. I apologize if I talked a little too fast. I didn't want to make this video like 17 minutes long for just one Wi-Fi battle, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content. As I said, if we can get this video up to 400+ likes, I will definitely upload another video for you guys tomorrow. So with that, I will see you all soon. Make sure to go check out any of my 2 previous videos that you might have missed. They're playing on your screen right now, and they have annotations on them. So with that, guys, I will see you all soon. So later, everybody.